Okay, the trial continues with Mindwarp, and they really get their money's worth out of that model shot. I mean, I don't blame them. After a bit of a telling off, the Doctor, quite peeved, asks about the previous story, like what the hell was with the box and Earth's position. Of course, he's quickly shoved aside. The Valeyard presents his second piece of evidence, the Doctor's adventure on Thoros Beta, which looks absolutely amazing. The problem with classic Who is that most alien planets look, well, quite frankly crap. They are just quarries or indoor spaces. Thoros Beta, on the other hand, looks amazing. The special effects don't even look dated today.
Get on with it! Yes, get on with it!
Oh, I am enjoying this scene.
Get on with it!
Alright. So, the Doctor is on Thoros Beta to investigate a deadly TV remote that can liquefy anything it attacks. As you've probably noticed, yes, this is a quarry, but as I said, the effects are amazing. The funky 1980s colours that don't interfere with the Doctor and Peri. It must have been a really difficult effect to create back then. The two enter a cave and are attacked by some sort of beast, the Doctor having to resort to straight up murdering it. He doesn't justify it very well, and to be honest, it was either him or the beast.
The CD phaser discharged accidentally. Rerun the struggle, see for yourselves.
No need. There are clearer examples of your guilt to come.
I don't really blame him. Turns out the creature was protecting hydroelectric consoles, but they won't be alone for long, as the klaxon blares.
Some point after 1939, isn't it?
So what?
Is after 1939, which may contain 1939, but does not mean it.
No, well...
After 1939 and after the Second World War are not synonymous. After 1939. Why don't you just type, Mitchell is a cop?
Channeling his inner Troughton, the Doctor quickly uses his captor's words against him, blagging his way into Crozier's group with Peri. Only slight issue is that this Crozier will have to verify their identities. Bugger. The fella escorting them doesn't quite believe the Doctor. He may be the same man, but he doesn't have the same wit or conniving nature as he did 4 generations ago. So he's relatively quick to suss him out. Considering it's Martha Jones's dad, I'm not surprised he managed to, though it doesn't mean a dead body can't stun him. So the Doctor and Peri run away, but the cave they've gone down was probably not the best option, as chained up is oh my god, that makeup is gorgeous. So this Crozier fella is some sort of doctor, and I have a feeling that gene splicing is his preferred field. Reminds me of a previous Sixth Doctor story. Well, I think I guessed it a bit too early. Meet Syl, the man who turned Peri into a bird woman and tried to destabilise an entire planet. Thoros Beta just happens to be his home planet, something he foolishly admitted to Peri. This is where the Valeyard brings up a valid point. The Doctor sends in his companions first, into danger quite often, especially in this incarnation.
Who went into danger first?
Well, she just happened to be the nearest.
Your assistant, as usual. Sagacity, I have calculated on a random matrix sample that the Doctor's companions have been placed in danger twice as often as the Doctor.
I mean, he really isn't wrong. Companions get fed up, they get injured, and some even die. Things that would not happen if the Doctor wasn't involved or never even met them. But then that brings up the bigger argument of if the Doctor wasn't there, what would have happened, so let's not get into that. Anyway, while Syl is a villain of this story, he's not the main villain, being secondary to his boss, Kiv, a bit like the cyber leader to the cyber controller in the previous series. While Syl is the headliner villain, he's not the top dog, but soon he will be, as Kiv has a slight problem. His brain is outgrowing his skull. Also, recognise Kiv?
General Stahl, of the 10th Sontaran Fleet, Stahl the Undefeated.
Oh, that's not a very good nickname. What if you do get defeated? Stahl, they're not quite so undefeated anymore, but never mind.
Yeah, this story is full of people who come back in the revival, which makes sense. This is 1986. Luckily for Kiv, Crozier is looking to fix this issue via a brain transplant, maybe into this guy, who the Doctor and Peri have just stumbled upon. And now they've been stumbled upon, being the evil prick that he is, Syl immediately gets the Doctor tied up, not believing his story of the Rack attacking them. And why would they? Crozier is so up his own arse that he believes himself to be perfect. The arrogance, he's like a neurosurgeon. Oh wait, he is. Makes sense then. Lucky for the Doctor, the barbarian next to him wakes up, throwing anything he can at them, knocking out the warriors and donning his helmet, ready to face a whole army it seems. This is King Eukranos, the mad barbarian king played by legendary actor Brian Blessed, who is bloody brilliant.
They have my equity dwarf in a dungeon somewhere. We must release him or die in the attempt. We must kill all who stand between us and victory. We'll grind every last slug beneath our feet. Yes, we must raise an army and attack and destroy the mentors. Yes?
Yes, sure, anything you say.
The thing is, the Doctor doesn't remember any of this. His memory just cuts off after the table debacle. It appears this is because of Crozier's machine, but perhaps there's another reason we don't know. Either way, the Doctor is in a state of childlike bliss, not fully understanding the true gravity of the situation, causing him to just turn himself into Syl. Wait, no, he's betrayed Peri and Eukranos. This is clever. In the mysterious planet we get them taking the mick out of all the anti-violence letter writers. Now we have them taking the mick out of how selfish they made the Doctor. With the Doctor at his right hand, Crozier can now repair his machinery, since the Doctor just helps him, even admiring Crozier's work. Peri finds the main power supply and also finds Mr. Jones. That's not what he's actually called in the story, but we'll call him it anyway. For some reason, he decides to just play around a bit instead of immediately apprehending her, landing him a swift kick to the balls. Peri is fantastic. Instead of being the screaming damsel, she just takes matters into her own hands and then becomes servant to a woman. Scrap that, I guess. Being a servant turns out to be a good cover, though, since her face is constantly shielded, except it doesn't shield her voice from the evil Doctor.
Yes, my lord.
Well done, Peri. Seems you've tricked him.
I was just given it. Something different, you said, Doctor.
An enemy, my lord.
Ah well, we all slip up sometimes, even the Doctor. Now it's time for interrogation, and the Doctor has tied her to the rocks while the tide comes in. Turns out he is actually faking it all, just as the present Doctor thinks.
Right, we're alone now, we can talk. I'm your friend, you know that.
I was beginning to wonder.
I'm here to help you.
How do I get out of this?
By telling me who the Alphans are that are leading the unrest and where they can be annihilated.
Oh my god, he's not actually faking it.
You are expendable, you have no value. Tomorrow, they intend to take the brain of the Lord Kib and transplant it into my body. He will possess my body. To prevent that, I must please the mentors, Peri. If that means sacrificing you in my place, then that is the way it must be.
He's fully willing, oh my god. That machine has buggered him up more than I thought. Despite the Doctor's protesting, he can't be right. The Matrix never lies, after all. Out of nowhere, Eukranos jumps in to save Peri, aiming a liquefier at the Doctor and fully intending to use it. But Peri is still hopeful.
Couldn't help it. The Doctor, he wasn't always like that.
Trash!
I suggest you always were just like that, my dear Doctor. A toady. A coward!
Well, you're not wrong, Valiard, but he's not that bad. Eukranos reckons that there has to be some sort of pocket resistance somewhere. As with all dictatorships, this pocket is just waiting for a great leader to show up. Obviously.
Destiny. Isn't that just a fancy name for blind chance?
Blind chance? Destiny? If that were true, our lives, my majesty, would be meaningless.
Well, it's merely a point of view.
A thought was an empty one, my lady. We all live for a purpose.
God, they argue like an old married couple. The dad, the mam, and their dog, man, thing. This guy was literally paid to pretend to be a dog and cuddle up to Nicola Bryant. I am thoroughly enjoying this. On the Doctor's end, Kiv's replacement has arrived, and even comes with upgrades. Though this is only a temporary body with a slightly larger skull, meaning we're going to have to do this again sometime soon. The procedure begins, and Crozier shows off his madness.
Syl, stop gyrating your fruit.
Quite good, that. Almost as good as an analogy as calling writing the vocal translation. Yes, I did come up with that one. And just like that, the transfer goes off without a hitch.
There's nothing. No heart, no brain readings, nothing. We failed.
Uh-oh.
One last chance.
He's breathing.
There we go. And now Crozier has perfected cheating death. Literally. Wonder what Ukranos has accomplished with the Resistance. Oh, that went well. Luckily, Ukranos is kind of a big deal around these parts, despite the fact he's an alien to them. This story is really just a fight between two massive egos of arrogance. Ukranos the savage, arrogance where he just thinks he's the perfect fighting machine.
But how many of them survived, huh?
That's a minor consideration when there is glory to be had.
He's so happy I genuinely believe him. Then there's Crozier's intellectual arrogance, where he just knows he's the smartest person in the room. Honestly, a wonderful parallel between intelligence and savagery. Ukranos truly is the perfect leader. He could even inspire Rishi Sunak to not repeat the same stuff over and over again.
The government's carefully considering its position, but it's confident in the approach that it's taken. And the government is confident in its position. So the government is confident in its position, but has been confident in its position.
Leading the charge of 6 people. You're not telling me that the entire combined resistance of this planet is now 6 people. And their charge isn't even to a fight. It's just to their weapons storage, which has been befallen by a rockfall. Now their glorious revolution is over before it even began. With all of them dead?
No! No. No! No, I won't believe it!
You still continue to ignore the truth.
I am not responsible for that!
In your mind, perhaps not. But in reality, it is somewhat different, Doctor.
What a cliffhanger. Considering Peri isn't with him in the trial and the Valeyard hinted at her fate, I wouldn't be surprised if audiences fully believed that Peri was now dead. With hindsight, however...
Is Peri dead?
No.
Then what was the point of showing that last sequence?
Simply as further evidence of the Doctor's interference.
I thought it was somewhat gratuitous.
And highly prejudicial!
Thank God for that. More Ukranos.
Oh, my head feels as though it's been trampled on by the 7-legged chargers of coral jam.
What absolute waffle! In the cells, Peri mentions love, something that Ukranos has never thought of before, or even known about at all. All he's known is war. His purpose on his planet is just to fight and die as a hero, allowing his spirit to ascend to... Oh, I'll just let him explain.
You become a king! Me, after my next death, I joined the other kings on the Duna, the home of the gods!
To do what?
Why, to fight! What else?
It's like he's a Spartan. It turns out that Crozier hasn't actually perfected the process, as the host's brain cells are trying to rewrite Kiv's, giving him an intense fear of water since the body drowned, meaning we need a new body, and quick. Well, Crozier does. And then it hits him.
What about your companion, Doctor?
Peri? A quite unsuitable female. Oh, silly, flibbertigibbet, hopeless.
I think the Doctor's back to normal now. Just a slight hint there of him being there. His theory actually checks out. She's a perfect match. Having left the lab, the Doctor decides to go and check out how Kronos is doing.
Open the door, would you? You must be out of your mind. He'll kill you.
I don't think so.
Cover me.
Oh, Mr. Jones, how foolish you are. Now armed with a weapon, Ukranos is ready to go and get his bride-to-be back.
Perpigillium of the Brown!
Well, we'll find Perpigillium of the Brown on the way.
Though sometimes his finger suffices as a threat. A man of true power.
Baronet! We'll release the slaves, and then on to death!
Now it's a race against the clock, as the procedure is about to begin. But first, we have to destroy the slave control.
What's happening?
Well, I think they did it. My god, I love his energy. Running through the corridors, the Doctor is separated from Ukranos, then stops, as the TARDIS appears. This isn't right. The Doctor has to help. Oh my god, they've taken him at the wrong moment.
Things had gone too far. You had released chaos, and allowed your companion to take part in an experiment that would affect all future life in the universe.
I did try to stop it.
But you could not succeed.
Oh, shove off, he could have done it.
Protect me! I am your lord and master!
You killed Peri?
They killed Peri. Literally just straight up killed her. The first companion death since Adric. No, I don't count Chameleon. After 2 years with Peri as the companion, she's gone. Completely gone. But that doesn't mean it's over yet. To the Doctor, this trial is no longer a joke, no longer a slight inconvenience. It's personal. The High Council has killed his one true friend, and they're not going to get off easily. This story is just on a whole nother level. Not only is the plot concise, compelling, and absolutely batshit crazy, we get the death of a beloved companion just to top it all off. The mysterious planet set up a perfect story, and the sequel did not fail to deliver. Surely they cannot mess up this brilliance. Well, tomorrow we shall find out, and I'll see you then.